We are a social science medical school. We understand that health is a byproduct of several social factors like education, like water, sanitation. We just don't look at the patient is sick and so you treat him, that's it. We always worry about where does he get his water? Is he getting enough food, you know? Is it because his dad doesn't know anything, or is it because his mom only went to grade 1, you know? So those are the things that we think, you know, and these are the things that we emphasize.
You see, these are the things that needs to be taken into account. That includes the environment, the resources available, politics and economics. Issues about poverty has to be taken in. You cannot talk about health in isolation and just simply limit yourself on the biological perspective.
So if you invest in a graduate of our school, he is going to make an impact not only in health, but in all those other things.
There is a misconception about being a doctor. You wear the coat, you wear the tie. There is glamour with medicine. But in order to serve the people here, one has to live like the people. Forget whatever that it is that we were used to the cities. And it has taught us to be humble, to be grateful for the small things that we have. And when you establish a certain relationship with the people from the community, the look in their eyes and the gratitude that they give you is far beyond any monetary value that could be given to me. Yeah.
Money can't buy happiness. You may have lots of money abroad or living American dream perhaps, but I think money can't buy happiness. So I'm happy, and I'm happy with my profession right now, because that becoming a doctor for me is not a right but an opportunity and a blessing. Okay, so I want to share that blessing and that opportunity to serve other people and be a role model to them.
For me, it's so nice to sleep at night when you're happy. It's so nice to sleep at night when you know that you have helped other people. Even if you're tired, even if you're hungry, as long as you were able to help other people, as long as you have been able to put a smile on their face, make them feel healthy, you can sleep at night well, even though you're tired, even though you're hungry. This is what we do here in the community. We visit the people. We have good relationship because we think it's more important to develop a good rapport with the people, for you to be able to serve them, for you to be able to have a good relationship with them, and for them to be open enough to tell you what they feel, how's their life, to understand them, and they would really feel happy for here visiting them. That's what we do here. We stay with them. Sometimes we eat with them because they would love it. They would love it if we're here. If any food on the table we'll eat, they would really love it.
Well, I remember the first time that we were sent to the community where we stayed for 4 years. It was a 10-hour drive from Zamboanga city. It was up the mountains. It was not anything that I was used to. We had to cook our own food. We had to sleep on the floor. We had toilets, comfort rooms were not anything close to providing comfort at all. So we lived like the people. And I guess that my eyes were open to the realities of the health situation of our country.
You know, our politicians, they're there in their offices and their cars and their beautiful homes, and they go jet setting and stuff like that. They are out of touch with the local people. They're out of touch. Get out of your offices. Come to us. Join us as we go do our job. And maybe, you know, just maybe, if they see that malnourished child, they would say, "Oh, what am I doing?"
We're medical students, fourth-year medical students assigned in Barangay Linabo. It's in Dapitan City. So, as you can see behind us, we have a stockpile of hollow blocks. One of the main problems or health issues we have in this community is the lack of adequate sanitation. So there are no toilets, and I think around 28 households do not have a proper toilet. So they just go anywhere, and sometimes they put their waste in plastic bags and just throw it away. So one of the main thrusts of our health plan is to put at least a couple of toilets for them to use. So these hollow blocks were donated by
the hollow blocks are donated by the Barangay Council of Linabo, the Bitan City, and the bowls are donated by the City Health Office.
So we coordinated with the Barangay Council, the local government unit, as well as community people. So the residents will be the ones who are going to erect the toilet, but materials were gotten by provided by donation. So we solicited, we talked to the officials until we finally got the first step. So construction begins in 2 days.
Yes, another problem that we have encountered here in the community is the lack of nutrition of children who are living here in Ipil. And part of our comprehensive health plan is to make communal gardenings. And these are the area these are the projects that we have right now. As you can see, this serves at least more than 20 families. This actually augments their family source of income.
What is your dream for this health center? What is it that you want?
Well, I'd like it to be. I'd like to give to my patients quality health service. In order to do that, there's a need to increase or to improve the quality of health services by maybe improving the availability of equipment, the laboratory especially.
What about the medicines?
Yeah, the availability of also medicine. Vaccines, and refrigerator to maintain the cold chain.
I think it's really urgent. It's alarming because in the area it's entirely different with what we see in the media, in the news. It's entirely different. The life is almost unfair for them. They don't have food to eat. So how do you expect them to buy some medications if you prescribe them? It's really very frustrating.
2 weeks ago, I was faced with quite poor mortality for my community. I was there the entire week. I have a patient who had 5-year-old girl who died of rabies, a 16-day-old infant who died of neonatal tetanus, a kid who died of acute gastroenteritis, and an unborn child. I mean, basic something to do with maternal care. It's very preventable.
2 weeks ago, I had a patient, a very malnourished patient. He had cough, fever, and then he could barely eat. So I told the mother so that we should refer the patient to the hospital because the patient will die if he will not be transported. So the mother said, "No, doctor. Anyway, we don't have the money. We don't have everything." I said, "So what can I do?" I just gave the patient a simple nebulization, and then I gave him antibiotic, and then place the patient under oxygen. And then after a while, I said, "Oh, you may go now because I can do more because of the limited resources, and they don't want it to be admitted." So, and then I said to the patient, let's just pray that the boy will get better. And then after 2 days, I asked my midwife, said, "What happened to the child?" The midwife said, "Fortunately, doctor, the child got well. He's okay now." I said, "So thank you, God."
When I started working in the community, my support system was not the local government unit, but my school. We're not asking to make things, so easy for people, because it's never going to be so easy You know, never going to be easy because there's 90 million of us. But you know, basic services, a good doctor-to-patient ratio, you know, health centers, immunization for children, good water, improved sanitation, you know, clean water, and maybe education too, because that goes hand in hand. So we're asking for basic stuff, which the government should be providing us, but they're not.
Help us make a difference in the lives of these people, because without these few people, of these few concerned, shall I say, dedicated and committed people who go to far-flung areas, who go to doctorless areas to serve, I think without these people, these less fortunate people will be hopeless, and we should not, you know, just take them for granted, because health is a right.
I wish for more doctors who are brave enough, who have that heart to serve. I wish for more doctors who are like that.
Our school, most of the students are scholars, because the people that we recruit, we found out that if you recruit people who come from average families, these are the ones who will stay in the community. We feel so lucky, you know, to have the opportunity to become doctors. There are many people who cannot.
So I usually see poor people getting sick who cannot afford to go to the hospital. So I promised to myself that when I grew up, I wanted to become a doctor so that I won't see any people, sick people who cannot afford getting medical attention. When I was applying for a job at the Department of Health, there was a question in the paper that says, "What is your favorite song?" And I said, I would think it would be Impossible Dream, because who would think that that a poor girl whose father is a farmer and the mother is only high school is only a teacher can become a doctor.
Well, change starts from one person. Change doesn't happen overnight. So when we talk about change, we're talking about decades, years, even decades. Of course, people will still remain people, and government officials will still remain government officials. And being government officials, they also expect cuts. But if we foster honesty and educate the people and lead by example, then there's still hope. We can't give up hope. Change always could occur.
Do not be discouraged. Just do what you can do. Because at first I was discouraged. I don't want to go on anymore. But then I realized, if I leave, what will happen to me? What will happen to them? At least in one way or another, I am able to help in a little way. Maybe that's enough at the moment, because political systems change. People in the position also change.
How I wish I could stay there, because I fell in love with the community, and I think it's a mutual relationship between the people and me. I wish, God willing, He would allow me to stay there, to serve them, and eventually bring my family with me to stay there. Because the people are so nice. People are so nice. It's basically a very rural, a virgin community with no influences from other rich individuals, or no influences about bad vices. It's really a basic rural community, a basic society. A small group of people who helps each other, who shares each other. I wish I could stay there together with my family, to bring them there. They could experience the feeling that I have right now.
It is worth the hard work. In fact, it's not hard work. It's not hard work. It was a joy in retrospect now. It's worth investing one's life. What gets me excited is being able now to see in my lifetime the fruits, the outcomes the evidences, they would call it in medical parlance, the evidence that this is working. For instance, when we started the medical school, the infant mortality rate of the region is from 60 to 80 per 1,000 live birth. But after 10 years of operation, that is when we have just simply completed 5 cycles of our graduates now into the field, the infant mortality rate has dropped down from 60 to 80, now it's down to 8 to 12 per 1,000 live births. That is exciting. We were able to achieve this feat in a matter of 10 years, and yet the government has been trying to make this breakthrough in a matter of years and years. So that's something very exciting for me.
The world is faced with a lot of problems, and one of this is terrorism. The Philippines forms a triangle with Malaysia and Indonesia, and we all know about Jamaah Islamiyah and all that stuff, you know. Our graduates work in these areas, and health brings hope to people, because there they say the government doesn't care about us, so we might as well join the rebels, you know. And these young people, they don't know any better. They haven't seen hope for a long time. All they see is war. If we have our doctors there, they're bringing hope that the government will care for them, or at least somebody's caring for them. And maybe they'll think twice about joining these, you know. It's a global world, you know. Terrorism is everywhere. I mean, the person that's here right now could be a suicide bomber later on in life, you know. But if we can come in and show them that there's hope, and doctors always bring hope with them. I mean, even if you don't bring medicine, if you're just there to talk, to debrief them, to talk, you know, just soothe their fears and alleviate their pain in a little way, it goes a long way. So we want to be able to have a lot more of these doctors down there in the communities, in those war-torn areas, to give these people some measure of hope. And then if that happens, and we can minimize people going over to the other side, to the dark side, then maybe, you know, life would be better for everybody.